it's not that Christ was controlling the elements. He is the elements. This is the oneness principle. If you are everything, how easy is it for elements to be controlled, to be changed? How easy?
You're not acting on the elements, you are acting as the elements.
As. So then he would say, okay, I'm stopping raining now. I'm the rain, and I'm stopping raining now. I am the wind, and I'm stopping winding. I'm stopping blowing now. Right? Not that he is doing something. He is that. That's where the real power comes. When you let go of your individual self and become the whole. This is like the secrets of Spirituality 101. The secrets. This is the secret behind all power in the universe being revealed right here and now. This is all you have to know. Seek the whole. And you become that. Then there's nothing else to achieve. You are the intelligence of the entire universe. All thought, all inspiration, all genius ideas. You're that. There's no limitation. Interesting that Swami Purna was asked at one time, what is enlightenment? And he says, when you have no more limitations. Interesting definition, because that's far different than pretty much all the spiritual teachers on this planet. Far different. He's not saying, when you feel one with this and that and all that. No. You are unlimited. In other words, with a single thought, a star could be destroyed or created. That's why enlightened beings have to be very careful of what they think. The moment that Christ thinks that elements are still, then they go still. The whole ocean goes still. Power. True power. But you have to die in order to become that. There has to be a sacrifice, so to speak. But the sacrifice is on behalf of your true self. So although the little self seems to be dying, a greater self then asserts itself. Gigantic difference between the two. I was trying to describe that at the beginning. The little mind is like a box made of thoughts where it's just repeating what it's learned from the environment. Cosmic thinking thinks stars and planets and galaxies into existence and thinks them out of existence. All the planets and the stars hanging in my mind. See the immense difference. That's why it's interesting to see an enlightened being in a human body, because people have no clue what's behind that. Because generally speaking, those beings don't perform miracles. Christ was unusual. Christ was unusual in the fact that he had a particular kind of mission. But he was unusual. Many of the great illumined beings won't show you anything. So the only way you can really discover a true enlightened being is by raising yourself up to a certain consciousness where you go, that's it. But until you've done that, you don't know who's who. You don't know who's the real illumined being. And that's why I've often talked about this, like even if the Christ was on earth, who would even see it? Who would have the eyes to even see Oftentimes Christ was saying that, do you have eyes to see? It's a good statement. Do you have the right spiritual eyes to recognize what's a true spiritual source? And once that eye opens, wow. I'm telling you, once the spiritual seeker starts to open the eyes, they're always coming to satsang. Satsang meaning like a gathering like this, because they're eager to find the truth. I joked about running towards truth. They're not going home and watching TV. They're going home and reading a text about how everything is one and trying to figure this out. Like, sages have been telling me this over and over and over again. I'm going to find this out, and I'm going to figure this out, even if I die trying. And they're trying to figure this out till their death. That's when you know you're really getting on a significant spiritual path, when you have that kind of eagerness.
When you can't not go to satsang.
Yeah. Yeah. The eagerness, in Sanskrit's an interesting word, mumukshu. Mumukshu, eagerness. You want to know. You've lived too many lifetimes thinking in such limited terms of small creature. I'm a squirrel, I'm a rat, I'm a cat, I'm a snake, I'm a this, I'm a that. How many lifetimes have we lived like that? Countless. At some point, when you get human intelligence, you think, I've got to use this for something more than just seeking after tiny pleasures of life that mean nothing, that narrow your consciousness. Every time you indulge in something that's like small material consciousness, you narrow your you become small. I'm a body and I'm kind of being blunt about this, but pigs do this. That's what a pig does. Eats slop all day. It thinks about food. It can't stop thinking about it. Do you ever see a cow? Cow's always eating. Always chewing, always thinking about food. That's food. That's animal. We've gotten an incredible human intelligence that can think so deeply. That's why I described last time, they call it the buddhi. Buddhi is depth consciousness. It's depth of intelligence. What is really important here? Is it to go after animal tendencies? Or am I meant for something more than animalness? How many animal lifetimes do I have to go through before I say, now I'm putting my foot down and I'm stopping the animal tendencies and I'm going to seek the heavens? And I'm going to keep climbing, so to speak, the chakras. That's what I said, the chakras are climbing towards heaven. Interesting, when there's a true saint, you see the what do you call it? The halo. You always see the halo. That's the awakening of God consciousness. I am that I am. It says in the Bible. That's the halo. That's why it's depicted in the pictures. They have awakened this infinity, this knowingness of infinity, rather than so rooted to survival and fear and scared and they're going to get me and this world is, who wants to live like that? Just think for a moment, what do you want? Right? It's a deep thinking.